Hi, Facebook friends. I want to introduce you to someone that has been a mortgage professional in the East Texas area, especially around the Cedar Creek Lake market for many years. This is Chris Gandy. How long have you been in mortgage, Chris?
Actually, I was just talking about that the other day. January will be 26 years. So coming up on 26 years.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. You've been in the business as about as long as I've been in the business as well. Now, Chris has helped out quite a few of my clients and also many of my realtor friends because East Texas is a little bit different as far as the different programs that are available. And I wanted to interview him and just kind of give everybody an idea. We know that the mortgage is rates are higher than what many buyers want to have. But if you are considering moving away from the city, perhaps you have a job where you can work from home and you could be, an hour away from the Metroplex. This might be a guy you want to talk to. So, Chris, could you tell him a little bit about the different programs that you offer?
Yeah, especially out in the East Texas area, USDA is a great loan program. Uh, it does have income limits, but let's see, you got Van Zant County, Rains County, Hunt County. The income limits, I just looked it up for a family of 1 to 4, it's $119,850,
Okay.
meaning everyone in the household over the age of 18 that has income coming in, you have to include all that income and stay under the 119,000. If you've got 5 people or more, it goes way up to 158,000 a year.
Okay.
And again, it's a little tricky because let's say you have a 19-year-old child that works a part-time job, you still have to include that income in the cap, but you can't use it to qualify. It's kind of a double-edged sword, but doesn't come into play very often. Again, USDA is a great program because it is no money down, and you can get the seller to pay most of your closing costs, if not all of them. So when you, Liz, negotiated where the seller pays all the closing costs, and the seller can move in for real close to no money out of pocket.
Yeah, we've had some of those scenarios. Sometimes there've been some first-time buyers that we have worked on, and we've utilized that program. And the seller was negotiable and was able to pay, the closing cost. The buyer was able to make the payment, and they met those, income requirements. What what kind of homes, like as far as the sales price, what are the USDA limits? Because homes have gotten more expensive. Some people are wondering, does that even still, can I still even use that program?
Absolutely. There's no
Okay.
sales price limit on the
Okay.
USDA. It's just income limit. So
Okay.
the house can be 300,000, 350,000, as long as your income is under the guidelines and your debt to income ratio is still in line. Then yes, you can buy any property, even manufactured homes. There are date requirements on that. It has to be built after January 1st of 2006, I believe it is.
Okay.
But other than that, you can any kind of program, I mean, any kind of property it can be used on, residential property.
Residence properties. Okay. Yeah, that's great to know. So someone, because the homes are a little bit more affordable in East Texas and you do get more bang for your buck, so you may be able to find a home that would be in another comparable market, maybe 400,000, and it could be in East Texas and be, 325 to 350 for maybe the same square footage and same features.
Mhm.
So that's a really good thing to kind of keep in mind. Now, what other programs would there be available to buyers in the East Texas market that they should think about? How can they stretch those dollars out?
Well, another way is if you make a little too much to qualify for USDA, FHA is a great program. There
Okay.
are no income requirements. Again, there are loan amount requirements, but you can make however much money as long as you can qualify. It's 3.5% down, and the seller again can pay 6% towards closing. Now there we did got several investors that have their own in-house down payment assistance, so we can still get you in for zero down as long as you have a 620 credit score and your DTI is in line. We can still get you no money out of pocket.
Wow. That is incredible. So you have some in-house programs that are going to be specific to Cattel Mortgage that would have a grant program. So if they didn't have the 3.5, they should still talk to you because maybe you have a solution that would work for them.
Absolutely. Again,
Okay.
now I will tell you that the rate's going to be a little bit higher, but
Okay.
you're getting, well, there is no free money, but you're not having to put up your own money for the down payment. So we're able to get you in for, very little out of pocket, and it's still affordable and still a great loan program.
And you're building equity at that same time that you're going through it. Now, if rates come down, would you be able to refinance in a couple years if you had a program where you had this, or are you just stuck with that rate for the term?
No, you can refinance once you make 6 monthly payments. If the rates
Okay.
were to drop, you can um, refinance. Now, on those down payment assistance program, it does have a 3-year requirement. If you pay it off or refinance within the first 3 years, you will have to pay that money back. You'll never
That
pay
makes
more than
sense.
what you borrowed, but you'll have to pay that 3.5% back.
Yeah, but that gives somebody some time, in 3 to 4 years where they're able to build equity in the home. They would be able to, be in a home that they could afford, during that time period, and then take advantage, when the rates are down, and they could be saving at that same time instead of putting that money toward refinance. So I would probably advise them to just save their funds and then just refinance in a couple years.
Right,
But
absolutely.
that's a wonderful program, especially if they're a first time home buyer. They're trying to get into the real estate game because it's all
Hmm.
about how long you own a home builds that equity just over time. When you look back at people that have owned a home for 10 years, 7 to 10 years is kind of that mark where people really see a return on their investment is my opinion. And it's not in those first couple of years, but it's when you're gonna hold it. So I always tell that first time home buyers, if we can get you into a home and stay in this home for at least 7 years, then let's talk and see what kind of equity that you have built up to maybe then jump up and get a little bit larger home, maybe some with acreage, kind of look at it from that perspective.
Hmm. Right.
So,
Everybody, say well, I'm going to live here forever. Well, as you know, statistics tell us that within five to
yes.
7 years, they will be moving again, typically. So
Yes, yes.
just move
5 years
up
since
and
they
get
get the
equity.
bug. Sometimes I tell them it's not time yet. As like, unless you got a
Right.
job change, I was like, it's not time yet. We need you that turkey has to still cook in the oven just a little
Hmm.
bit longer
Hmm.
to get their return, that they want on their investment. Um, what other kind of programs would be out there that maybe somebody that is flexible on where they can live could consider as far as moving to, East Texas area?
Well, they're on top, besides the down payment assist, there are grant programs that are made, that will work in a rural area. Again,
Okay.
there's income requirements, and those you don't have to pay back. That really is free money. Again, as long as you stay there 3 years, you sell it at any time after that. Conventional will work out there. There's several different type of loan types that you can use on farm and ranch, hobby farms, those kinds of things. So there's just a lot of different things that you can get into when you get out into the more rural areas of East Texas.
I don't think everybody knows that because, to be honest, I think they call like a Quicken or a Rocket
Hmm.
Mortgage, and they really don't loan outside of suburbia. Not well, anyway,
Hmm.
has been my experience, with that. So over the years, we've had to make relationships with different lenders that are really specific. They know the loan products, they know, like you say, the grants, they know the USDA program, they know where you can get somewhat free money or somewhat, where you have to own the home a certain time period. So if somebody was just curious and they just wanted to call and talk with you, maybe they know that they're not ready to move, but they know that's a goal for next year, but
Hmm.
they feel like they've got to save up, they've got to work on that. Can they just call you and just talk with you and just say, "Hey, this is what I'm thinking. Do you have like consultations? Is it free? What does that look like for somebody?"
Absolutely. They can call me on my cell anytime. I'll respond to email, cell phone, text, whatever. My deal is I don't tell you no, I just tell you how. And so we'll
Yeah,
give
that's a
you
good
a
way.
roadmap,
Yeah.
we'll give you a plan. I'll pull your credit. Okay, we may be 10 or 20 points short now, but I'll tell you what you need to do to get there. And it might not take as long as you think. You
Okay.
know, don't prejudge your credit or your income. A lot of times people can qualify for a lot more than what they thought.
Yeah.
And you know the myth, I'm a bit of a myth buster. You don't need 20% to put down. You might get in for zero down. If you
Yeah.
want to put 20% down, you can. So give me a call. You know, we'll go through it.
He has helped so many first-time home buyers. And what I like about Chris is he's really patient. He walks through the clients through it. So if they may have something on their credit, he gives you a plan. He gives you actionable steps, to help. And many clients, they may be 6 months before they're ready, but he gets them ready and we close. And that's not every mortgage person out there, I feel like, has that care and has that follow up with that. So are you okay if I post your cell phone number and like your email and all your contact info along with when I post this on social media? That way, if they just want to send you a text and set something up, they could.
Yes, ma'am. Please do.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope to be able to check in with you again, especially at the first of the year to see if we've got any changes, to see if there's anything new going on. That specifically, mortgages and, the East Texas market, maybe talk a little bit more about some farms, some ranch loans, just what the differences would be and what that would look like. And we'll see if we've got any success stories. We'll see if anybody watches the video, gives you a call, and buys a home.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, Liz.
All right, take care. Bye bye.
All right. Bye.